Well, welcome to today's webinar on the Beginner's Guide to AI for Small Business. I'm so excited for all of you to access these amazing tools that really have the potential to transform your business journey. My name is Alicia Lino, and I'm the Content Marketing Director for GoDaddy. Thanks very much for joining me today. So please go ahead and share in the chat. Have you already started using chatbots like ChatGPT or Bing AI or Google Bard, or are you completely new to this? I'd love to just know a little bit about, have you started using it? Are you just kind of hearing about it? Just a little bit. Some people already using it. Awesome. So for those of you who are already using it, would love to have you be active in the chat and helping those who are new with it. But let's get started with some quick housekeeping items. So first of all, we have a Q&A box separate from the chat. That's a great place if you want to put questions that we will be going through at the end of the session. The total presentation will be about 30 minutes. We have a whole hour, so there'll be lots of time for Q&A after the session is complete, and I'll be focused on that Q&A box. Please participate. Like I said, we're going to be asking you for ideas for businesses, business types, adjectives to describe a business, locations for a business, because all of that will influence the output that we're getting out of these tools. Also, the video recording will be uploaded later to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GoDaddy. And you can also use the hashtag SmartBizAI on social media. I just posted the first post to those hashtags last night. So definitely get on there and ask some questions or even show some of your other tips and ideas. And you can check out smallbusinessprompts.com, which will redirect to our GoDaddy resources library, where we have specific guidance for AI for small business, as well as an awesome prompt library with professional prompts that we'll be using throughout this presentation. Also, if you want to learn more about how GoDaddy is integrating AI into our products, GoDaddy.ai has all the information you need. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. The quick disclaimer here is that, we are excited to recommend the use of generative AI, but of course it is experimental. Please be aware that it's just in its early stages and the effectiveness definitely varies. So you want to avoid entering sensitive information. Everything you enter into these tools, can be used to train the models, can potentially be breached. Just be very careful you're not putting anything sensitive in there. Also, make sure that you review the output for accuracy. We'll go over this a little bit more at the end of the session, but AI is just, possibly incorrect. It might be inaccurate. It might be out of date, or it might just make up and hallucinate stuff. And it can sound very convincing when it does it. So we'll go through a bit more of that and explain how these large language models, chatbots work, so you can kind of understand why that happens as well. Also, please note that we are focused on ChatGPT for this webinar. There are other tools that we talk about on smallbusinessprompts.com, but the contents of this webinar are not actually affiliated, endorsed, or sponsored by OpenAI. So with all that out of the way, now we're just going to go over quickly the sections that we're going to chat about today. So first, I'm going to demonstrate about 5 different prompts for your business and how they can be modified and used to get the most bang for your buck out of the prompts that you're putting in. Then I'm going to show you how you can get started signing up for ChatGPT. And then I'll explain a little bit about how these AI chatbots work at a very high level. It can get very technical, but we're going to try and keep it just really easy for you to understand so that when you're using these tools, you understand the limitations and the risks that go into them. Then we'll go over some tips to get effective results and go really deep a little bit into the limitations and responsible use. And finally, end with some resources for you to keep learning. All right, so AI has the potential to automate really difficult tasks or overcome things like writer's block, which ultimately gives you more time to focus on growing your business and doing what you do best. AI tools like chatbots can really offer this helping hand to your business, and you can kind of picture AI tools like a new team member or a coach that you can use as part of your business to help you get ahead. So first of all, in the chat, please give me a business type. Ashley, I'll be asking you to pass me one in just a second. So put some business types in the chat and Ashley's going to pick one. And then these categories are not exhaustive, but these are the current ones that we have on smallbusinessprompts.com. And then we have a number of prompts within each category. But this just gives you a high level of like where you might be able to go to get some great assistance using ChatGPT and similar tools for your business. We are expanding this library regularly, and we have a weekly newsletter if you want to stay up to date as we're growing it. And we would love your feedback as well on what you think of it. So we're going to start off talking about customer support. So I'm going to switch over to ChatGPT here with my screen share. And so ultimately, AI chatbots are really great for customer support. You can actually use them to respond to things like negative customer reviews, positive customer reviews or any kind of message that you're getting, email, texts, WhatsApp, whatever from your customers. We actually have a tool like this integrated with our Conversations app for GoDaddy that allows you to see all of your messages from customers in one place and use AI to help you respond and to even summarize conversations. So it can be really, really great for that kind of thing. So I'm going to jump over, like I said, to ChatGPT here and kind of just show you an example here. So this is the ChatGPT interface, and I'm just going to go over here. This is smallbusinessprompts.com and come down to the section on customer support. Then in here, we have a table of contents. And for this one, I'm going to actually focus on the crisis communications prompt. And then all I need to do is copy and paste this back into ChatGPT. All right, Ashley, I'm going to need that business type from you when you have a second.
There were a ton of them. I'm going to go ahead and go with online dog boutique.
Boutique. That's a great one. This is going to be fun. And then for industry, sometimes it's the same thing, but I'm going to say pet services industry. Excuse my typing. So I'm going to read this out very quickly. Act as a seasoned crisis communication expert in the public relations department. Design a comprehensive crisis communication strategy for potential customer service issues in an online dog boutique business in the pet services industry. This strategy should describe the potential scenarios, including health crises, provide empathetic and reassuring messaging, and outline swift remedial actions to maintain customer trust. Your strategy should not only aim to resolve the crisis, but also enhance the brand's image through transparency, empathy, and promptness in handling a situation. We're going to go ahead and send this in, and then it's going to start actually writing out a whole crisis communications plan here. So we'll just let it keep writing, and then we'll go back and kind of take a look at what all it's chatting about. And then we will make some adjustments and see, it's just going ahead and doing its thing. It's writing a whole bunch of content. Basically, in about 30 to 60 seconds, it's going to complete a complete communication strategy that is actually tailored to this pet industry. So let's just go back up here. We've got about like 4 pages probably here of content. So immediately it's tailored to this dog boutique business, right? It even came up with a name for it, Positive Tales Online Boutique. We didn't ask it to do a name. And that's where I'm saying sometimes it hallucinates. It comes up with stuff. You need to maybe respond and say, hey, the brand name is actually this, change it. And it'll do that. It'll redo the output for you. So it's talking about contaminated products, talking about data breach, privacy issues on the website, some preemptive measures that you can take for quality assurance, data security, having the communication channels set up, understanding the tone that you want to take, and then remedial actions. So if you need to recall product, if you need to launch an investigation, all of this type of stuff for your business and your specific business type is important to prepare in advance. You know, when you're dealing with crisis situations, it's really nice to have a document, a process that you can refer back to. And this allows you to create it in just about a minute. So this is just one example. Next, we're going to go on to content marketing, which is actually my favorite of all the use cases for AI. So I'm going to need another business in a minute here. Ashley, if you want to find another one, and I'm going to scroll back down and go into content creation here. And I'm going to look for our prompts for, let's generate a content calendar. Okay. So I'm going to grab this one here. And again, I need a new business and industry. I'm going to start a new chat, because with tools like this that have chat history, you can actually go back and continue the conversation. So we're going to start a new one here. And Ashley, what do we have for our new business type here?
We have travel industry. Saw a couple of those.
So let's say travel for let's say a travel agent in, travel industry. And we'll say how about vacation? It's always good to be as specific as possible. So we'll just focus on people who are trying to book vacations in this one. All right. So I'm also going to later need a location and an adjective. So if people could start typing those into the chat, Ashley, you can go ahead and pick one, and I'll ask you for it actually in a minute, but I just want to show how we can reprompt after we send it. So embody the strategy of a skilled content manager and develop a comprehensive 6-month content calendar for a vacation travel agent in the travel industry. The calendar should account for relevant holidays, key industry events, and unique content needs of each month, ensuring a consistent and timely flow of content. Okay, let's go. So again, AI is fantastic at content creation and social media marketing. And like I said, it's arguably the best use of generative AI. So again, It's putting out everything here with months. It knows that we are in the month of August, so it's starting with September. And again, this prompt was created in collaboration with our internal AI enthusiasts and 2 prompt engineers, so they've been fully tested to make it really easy to get awesome results like this. So we're also going to say, okay, this is great, but let's do something that's a little bit more specific to our business. So Ashley, can you give me the location and adjective?
We have Door County, Wisconsin.
I hope I'm
Adjective, sunny.
And adjective. Okay, and make it more sunny. So again, doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have great grammar English. I'm hoping I said this right. Is that how you say Door County? Yep. Actually, look at the right. Okay, awesome. Door County, and make it more sunny. All right, let's see what it does. All right, so it's going to be specific now to Door County, Wisconsin. Sun-kissed beginnings of fall. Showcase the golden hues of Door County's landscapes in early autumn. Discover Door County, fall's hidden gem. So it knows that, September is in fall. It understands all this context. And it's talking about some more specific items in Door County, cozy cabins. I'm hoping that this is correct for Door County. I don't know. You'll have to let us know in the chat. Festive Bay. I'm guessing there's a bay in Door County. Hopefully there isn't. It's about that right. Again, sometimes it hallucinates, but it should know things about Door County and have put some of these things into effect for what it knows about Door County. All right, so now that we've got all this, let's actually ask it to output this as a spreadsheet. And we could ask it for specifics, like we want it by week or by month, but let's just see what it does. Okay, so again, we're in the mobile view, so it's a little bit tougher to look at than it would be on a desktop, but you can already see that it's got the month, the content theme, the ideas, and promotions and engagements. So I can literally copy and paste all this into Excel or Google Sheets, and it's just a ready-made content calendar. And if you wanted to break this down into week by week, you can do that as well. So we're going to stick with this example for now, and just wanted to explain that you can reprompt. You can ask it to, hey, that's not quite right, fix this. Hey, I would like this as a spreadsheet. I would like this, explain a diagram or something like that. So let's go back again to the prompt library. And this time we're going to take this content calendar that we've created, and we're going to use it for social media. So I'm going to go in here and choose a prompt that we have for creating engaging social media captions. And then I'm going to paste that in here. We already actually have the industry here, but I need a tone of voice. So can somebody put a tone of voice in there? Sunny was good, but maybe we go with like playful or serious or romantic or who knows. I'll let
Friendly.
Okay, we like that. Great. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of these variables because we already told ChatGPT and it actually knows. We don't have to read. So in a friendly tone, let me read this whole prompt out. So embody the role of a skilled copywriter and provide guidelines for writing captivating social media captions. Share techniques for creating attention-grabbing hooks, storytelling elements, and calls to action for my business. Offer advice on tailoring captions to specific platforms and audience preferences. Empower me as an entrepreneur to craft compelling captions that enhance engagement and drive desired actions. Then provide 5 examples in a friendly tone. All right, let's go. So first of all, as we asked, it's going to be giving me advice on how to craft the captions, how to do this myself, elements that I want to put in here, and everything should be spot on and should already understand what we're talking about with this specific business type and audience. And then here it's got some great examples. And as you can see, it's got little cute emojis, it's got hashtags, it knows it's Door County, it knows that we want sunny, and these are all really friendly looking. So again, sometimes kind of captions can be like really difficult, and it just did 5 very quickly. So let's say I want to keep generating. You can just type, please continue, do more, but let's be more specific. Give me a list of daily IG captions for the next 30 days. And then it's going to go ahead and spit that out. And you can just choose the ones you like and just plug them into your social media scheduler. And there you go. You've got 30 days of Instagram captions that are optimized for your business type, your location, the tone of voice, and the adjectives that are used to describe your business. All right, I'm not gonna let this thing run forever. Seeing the chat is super active. I wish I could stay more close on it, but we've got a lot more to cover and a lot more types of prompts coming up. So next, we're gonna go over and do business plan. Hopefully you guys are seeing and reading all these and seeing how awesome they are. So the next one, we're gonna go back to the prompt library, and we're gonna go into a whole section that we have for starting a business. This is great too if you have anything like these that you want to come back to. Sometimes it's nice to refresh your business plan. So definitely don't sleep on those prompts, even if you're already an established business owner. For this one, I am going to start a new chat, new business type. So Ashley, actually, before we do this, yes, let's get an industry. Do you have another one, Ashley, ready for me?
Sorry, I was in the Q&A. Let me jump in real quick. Ballroom dance instructor. That's come up a couple times.
I love this. You are all very creative. Okay. So before we actually generate the business plan, we saw it hallucinated a business name. So let's actually generate a business name. And I'll just say, we have a prompt for this that generates a ton of business names that are more aligned to your business. But let's just say, generate a business name for a ballroom dance instructor. Cool. And let's see what it says. It's just going to give me probably one. Okay. Rhythmic Elegance Dance Academy. What a lovely name. Okay. So we're going to stick with that one. And act as a successful entrepreneur and business coach. You are advising me on starting my first business in the dance instruction industry. Write a detailed business plan for, here's my business name, Rhythmic Elegance Dance Academy in, oh, we need another location, Ashley. I'm sorry to put you on the spot again.
Jumping in there. Tampa, Florida. Thanks, Greg.
Awesome. This plan should cover all essential elements such as executive summary, company description, market analysis, organization and management, service or product line, marketing and sales, funding requests, financial projections, and an appendix. Also include any other topics you believe should be included in a business plan to ensure success for this type of business. So this is a mega prompt. Like I said, it was, again, created with AI enthusiasts at GoDaddy, as well as 2 prompt engineers that were freelancers that we helped to do these. So it's a lot, right? And you can put a ton of stuff into your prompt. So let's see what it does. This is going to be similar to the first one we ran, where it's going to be probably about 4 pages that you can just copy and paste into a doc and use it as your business plan. We actually have some business plan templates available on our blog as well, if you want to look at that. And we have a whole blog post coming out on how to use generative AI for your business plan. So probably more tweaks to this prompt will be coming in the future. All right. So let's see. Rhythmic Dance Academy is a premier dance instructing business, wide range of ballroom dance, exceptional instruction, vibrant dance community, aims to be the go-to destination. All right, awesome. We offer, it says we offer group lessons, private lessons, social dance events, and special workshops. That's all hallucinations, people. This is what I'm saying. You need to really look at the output. It's making stuff up. And you might be like, hey, that's a great idea. We don't do workshops. Maybe we should. But what I can say too here is, maybe the tone of voice or maybe the way that it's putting this together isn't quite up to our vibe. So let's come up with like a really unique vibe for a business like this. And maybe we'll just ask it to change it a little bit. So you got a vibe, Ashley, for me?
Seeing if anybody's got a vibe in here.
I'm just going to come up one. Let's say
Sonia says.
Which one?
Sonia Henley says hippie.
Okay. Give this one on a hippie vibe. Okay, let's just see if ChatGPT knows what a hippie vibe is. Okay, great. Now we're talking about soulful dance instruction with our sanctuary nestled in the heart of Tampa Float. Our haven has a harmonious blend. So this is, again, you can just keep telling it. Let's add more of this, a little less of it. There are so many ways to use this. I've seen tons of people, use a Zen coordinator and vibe curator. It's making a lot of this stuff up, but some of it is really cool. And you can see how this can give you a lot of ideas and get you, a head start on brainstorming. So there you go. Everything in here, it's got, again, focus on hippie vibes. It's coming at you with festivals and fairs instead of workshops. So this is just a great example of how, you can use, mega prompts and reprompting to get better results. Okay. back to the prompt library. One more, I think, example here is operations. This is a great one for everybody. Operations is a great section for increasing business efficiency. So this is a great prompt for helping you to track important metrics for your business. So defining KPIs. Let's just stick with this one for now, and we'll keep it on the successful business consultant specializing in dance instruction industry, or say education industry, whatever you want. Identify and elaborate the most critical metrics to track and the most crucial key performance indicators for a business in this sector. Your selection should cover financial metrics, customer-centric metrics, operational efficiency metrics, and employee performance metrics where relevant. Also, provide a brief explanation of how each KPI contributes to business success and how to interpret it, with actionable strategies for improvement should the need arise. I love this prompt so much because it's actually including instructions to explain it like I'm 5, give me the translation into layman's terms, and it also gives me the actionable guidance on how to improve these KPIs. So I'm going to scroll back up and see what we're talking about here. And again, because this is the same chat box, it knows the type of business that we're talking about. So revenue generated from dance classes, workshops, and events. The reason this is important, I mean, everybody knows revenue is important. The healthy revenue indicates demand. And ability to cover your expenses. Improvement strategies, offer diverse class packages, workshops to attract a wider audience. Talks about profit margin, how to calculate that, how to interpret what a profit margin is. And you could even ask it like, hey, that's not enough. Give me more information on what a profit margin is, or give me more information on what customer lifetime value means. And it'll tell you, it'll educate you on some of these terms if you're not familiar. Customer satisfaction score. How can I even get a customer satisfaction? What should my post-class surveys and feedback forms look like? It can generate all that for you. So this is just really great. You can, turn this into a spreadsheet and, have it something you could fill in on a monthly basis with all of these metrics so that you're tracking how effective your business is. And again, it's totally tailored to the business type that we've outlined. All right. So with that, I want to hear more about how all of you are using AI. So I'm going to switch back to my presentation and stop sharing. Slash. I think this is the one. Awesome. All right. So like I said, there are endless ways to use AI for your business and for your personal life. It's super exciting. One of awesome members of my team did a video on how to plan a vacation with ChatGPT on the GoDaddy TikTok and Instagram channels. So what are ways you'd like to use it for your business? What are, some things that maybe you've used it for that are interesting that people might want to hear about? Seen it, created for bylaws for a board of directors. Awesome. I've seen people doing some interesting stuff in here, stock trading, anything, again, super disclaimers, like anything legal. Even when you ask ChatGPT for legal advice, it'll tell you to consult a real lawyer. Again, we'll go over that at the end with the risks and limitations. Video planning, I've used it to plan activities for my toddler. It's really like having a professional videographer. I see video editing in here. We're focused on LLMs today, but yeah, there's a ton of other tools for AI art and video editing. So I'm going to go a little bit faster through this section because it is quite technically heavy, and this is supposed to be a webinar for non-technical folks, but I think it's important to kind of have a high-level view of how do these bots work, right? Generative AI is any artificial intelligence that can generate new, quote-unquote, original content based on patterns that it's observed in a set of training data. So for AI art, which is a really easy example to demonstrate, we can train AI on thousands and thousands of images that are tagged with the word dog and even the type of dog and the lighting conditions and the scenery around it. And then over time, after viewing thousands and thousands of these images and understanding the tags that describe them, you can prompt and ask AI art tools to just generate an image of a dog. And so you can see here from this example, the one on the left was trained on a lot more realistic images, and the one on the right, that AI was trained on a lot more artistic images. And those are all just generated images that literally the only prompt I used was dog. And so how does this work? This is technical looking, but ultimately on the left side, you can see here, large language models like ChatGPT, Google Bard, and Bing Chat are trained on massive amounts of text. And it has learned how to predict what words should go next in a sentence. So LLMs understand and respond to human language. They transform really how we communicate and interact with technology. And those three are the most popular right now, but there are tons of others out there. Then all of that data, all of that books and academic papers, Wikipedia, just the whole internet even goes through pre-processing to remove irrelevant or inappropriate data. And then it starts training, and that allows us to output things that look like human text, that are able to answer questions and make context connections. It can even translate language. It's really great at summarizing text. And ultimately, like, all this pre-trained mass amounts of writing and responses is basically like a highly advanced word calculator. It can perform tasks like an assistant. It can understand that context, but it doesn't always get it right. There are definitely limitations, but there's also lots of opportunities. And the best way to learn about it is to just use it, just try it. So let's dive in and figure out, how do we get started? So if you want to create an account, we're going to again focus on OpenAI and ChatGPT. It is free. The free version is limited to data from 2021. Google Bard does have access to the internet, so it's a lot more up to date in that respect. And it's also free. It's only available, I think, in the US and the UK right now. But for the tool that I've been using and demoing, you can go to chat.openai.com. And from there, you can just register with your email. It will ask you for verify your email. It's just doing that to limit, spammers and that kind of thing, signing up for a ton of different accounts. Once you've registered and set it up, the interface is exactly what I showed. There's even an app version for mobile phones. And as I've demonstrated, just type stuff in and it responds. You can reply, you can go back to old chats to continue the conversation. And so now let's talk about how to get the most out of actually prompting or talking with the chatbot to get the results that you want. So crafting effective prompts like the ones I was showing is the key to getting really great outcomes. There's a common phrase for you: garbage in, garbage out. And so here's a few tips on how to write effective prompts. Number one, clearer instructions lead to better performance. So the more specific and detailed your prompt, the more precise and helpful the AI response will be. Also, you want to make sure to give it your success criteria. What is your goal? This could be details about your vision for the output, like formats. We showed, there's spreadsheets, but some of these tools will also be able to do diagrams and code. You can say, I want a bullet list. And ultimately, don't worry about things like grammar and spell checking. In fact, some of my favorite ways of prompting are just to stream of consciousness, just put everything in. It doesn't have to be organized. The AI will read everything that you've put in there and understand the clues and use it to ultimately generate the best possible output that it can. Giving the AI a role as well, you've seen that in a couple of the prompts. It can be helpful because it, again, focuses the AI to look at all of its training data specific to either more recent knowledge, like best practices for 2023, or to look at the expert knowledge that it knows in its training database. Also, it helps to specify the audience. Like if you're generating content that you want other people to read, if it's, something for a customer, something for your website, understanding that helps the AI to, again, look at the training data and best practices related to that audience. And then use the GoDaddy prompts in our free library, smallbusinessprompts.com. And soon you'll be writing your own. Okay, one last example. So I'm going to need another industry, Ashley, if you want to get some folks in the chat there. I just want to show this example because so far I've been showing a lot of really complicated prompts, and I just want to show that you don't necessarily have to go super complex with it. So mega prompts are not the only thing, right? Ashley, you got a industry for me?
Yep, accounting from China. And
okay. All right, cool. And we got a location. Amazing.
Oh, and Joseph, you said Christmas lights and you're speaking to me, but we're going to go with accounting today.
Okay. All right. Let's white paper on the benefits of hiring a professional accountant. That's it. I'm just typing this out of my mind and just going to put it in here. I've got no specifics. I should have probably said China, but we're going to just go with this. There's no adjectives. There's nothing specific. And it's going to go ahead and write a white paper that we could use as a PDF, a lead magnet on our website, something that we show off on social. And this is specific to, formal white paper language, right? But now what I can do after it finishes, and I think I can probably start typing even while it's continuing to generate, is let's just turn it into a blog post. And it's going to provide a title that is a lot more appropriate for a blog post. And it's got an introduction. It's lost all the numbering here, and it's really laid it out as a more approachable blog post type. So it knows the difference. It knows what is going to show up in more professional sounding white paper and what is going to be in a blog post. Now, given the accounting industry probably doesn't have that much, it's still a very professional sounding blog post, but ultimately this is different output than what we got for the white paper. And now I can say, now give me social posts to promote the blog post. And I can go ahead and send that, and it's just going to do the same thing. So again, I didn't have to use mega prompts. I just went ahead and, asked it to just do a white paper. But again, this is not specific to my business type or my audience or the brand that I'm trying to build. So it's very generic, right? So great. I've got some social posts here. Again, we've got the links, a place to link to the blog post. We've got little emojis and hashtags. And now I could say, okay, give me quotes from famous people about accounting. Okay, so this is where it gets really tricky. I've done this before, and it's coming up with a lot of great quotes from people that I recognize, but I don't know if these are true or not. This might be something that the LLM made up because it saw somebody mention it and it's putting together context. So you need to make sure you validate these things before you put them, on your social or on your site. Make sure that these are legit. And so with that, we're going to go back into talking a little bit more about the risks and limitations at the end here. I know we're at half an hour in already, so I'm going to go a little bit quicker through this next section, and then we'll make sure there's lots of time for questions. Okay. Whoa. All right. I do have a couple more things to show before we get to those risks and limitations. It is really important info. So showed you, it's a great starting point. It's got a curated collection of prompts, and you can kind of consider it like an AI-powered toolkit to help you make your business journey smoother and faster and more successful. So please check out smallbusinessprompts.com. You can subscribe to our Substack newsletter if you want to get a weekly newsletter about things that we're doing with AI and some additional trainings that we're offering, or more blog posts that we're writing about how to use AI for your business. And we also have a monthly newsletter of just like our top content across GoDaddy resources. On the smallbusinessprompts.com site, there are quick links that you see here on the right on how to get started with ChatGPT if you need a more in-depth guide on how to start, as well as with Bard and Bing AI. We'll be continuing to add more to that. I also just want to talk really quickly about GoDaddy.ai, because we are integrating AI into our actual products. Most of them are just available in the US to start, but you can go to GoDaddy.ai if you are in the US to take a look at that right now. This is what you'll see. There's some information about things like creating product descriptions automatically in our website builder, being able to generate ads for Facebook and Instagram really easily, social posts. Like I said, you don't necessarily have to just use ChatGPT on your own. We have the API and we use all of these AI tools as part of our products. And then I just want to show something super cool. This is kind of where we're going with AI. It's the quick 2-minute video to kind of give you an idea of like what could happen in the future. Pretty cool, right? I love that. I love to see where we're going in the future. And obviously, it's going to be a very transformative next couple for the industry in general. So awesome. Loving to see some of the Seek in the chat. Yeah, it's super cool, right? I just love this and the fact that it's integrated and it's all in one place for you. So that's what we're trying to do here at GoDaddy. Awesome. Okay, now onto a really, really important section that is to not include limitations and responsible use. So I hinted at this at the very beginning with the disclaimer, but I want to go a little bit deeper. AI is a super powerful tool, but it does have limitations. So number one, make sure to manually review AI generated content for accuracy because it hallucinates very convincingly. It will spew stuff that sounds like facts and it's not. It can also be out of date. So do fact check. Make sure that you're looking for authoritative sources and that what you're putting out there you stand behind personally. Never enter sensitive or confidential information. As I mentioned, anything you enter could be used to train AI models, and there's no such thing as a 100% secure system. My background is in cybersecurity. Anything can be breached. So anything that you're putting in there, just make sure you're okay with it possibly becoming public and possibly losing IP rights to it. So don't upload your logos, don't upload anything that's really sensitive information. And also, an important one that's close to my heart, AI lacks emotional intelligence. Computers will never be able to love. And so, content could end up being discriminatory if it was trained on some toxic content. So you got to be careful, right? This is all experimental. These models are being tweaked all the time. And so just make sure that you're checking the content because again, it kind of come up with stuff that's fake, but it could also come up with stuff that is not good at all. And then lastly, just take care with any intellectual property. This kind of goes back to sensitive and confidential information, but on the output side, the answers might actually contain like copyrighted work, IP, competitor content, which would be really awful if you were publishing it, or proprietary sources. So just make sure, if you can, paraphrase the output if you're going to be using it. And ultimately, your best judgment and consult with a legal advisor with your use of AI. So with all that said, I'm so excited for all of you to get using this. You're embarking on a really exciting journey where AI is your ally, and with some practice and responsibility and some creativity, the sky's really the limit for what you can achieve. So welcome to the AI-powered future of business, and thank you again so much for joining me.